review techniques. So we're going to start off by explaining what HTML is, what CSS is, and what JavaScript is. So HTML is basically the way that websites are structured, the tags, the layouts, all that sort of stuff. And CSS is Cascade Styling Sheet, which is how the web looks, how the colors of the fonts and colors of, images and stuff. And JavaScript is the main thing we're going to be looking at, which is the client-side code, which is how the websites do things, does things and stuff like that. Now, one of the most underrated tools is, you wouldn't guess it, is Chrome DevTools. Now, Chrome DevTools is a very, very nifty tool for developers and also hackers. I'm going to show you also another good video that I got all this information from, which is from Stokes' new video, released on 23rd of April, and with Tom Domlin, he goes all over this sort of stuff. Okay, so let's have a look at some ways to exploit some DOM XSS. Now, first of all, DOM XSS is, it doesn't get reflected into the response, but it gets reflected into the page. So you can actually look for DOM XSS in the JavaScript code. Now, what vulnerabilities can we find in JavaScript? Well, we can find local file inclusion. We can find DOM XSS. We can find all sorts of stuff. We can find API leakage, API leaks. We can find information disclosure. Now, thinking of the information disclosure and API key leaks, some businesses will go, okay, we need to get this done really quick, and they'll just put everything into one JavaScript, pack it in one JavaScript, and then release it in public. So that's where we can find some API leakages and things like that. So first of all, let's have a look at Chrome DevTools. Let's right click and go to Inspect Element, or we can go to the three vertical arrow circles and go to More Tools or Developer Tools, and or we can go to Control, Shift, and I. Now let's have a look at what the Elements is. So the Elements has all the source code of the website, all the HTML and all the JavaScript. Console is where we'll be all doing like debugging and stuff. Sources is where all the JavaScript code is. But the one we're interested in is Network. Network is really good. So if you want to go to JavaScript, you can sort it by JavaScript. You can get all the JavaScript on the web page, which is pretty cool. This is Yahoo's main page. We just got to play around with it a bit. Obviously, it's not. Just load the page again. There you go. I'm going to just put this up here. So another way of getting all these JavaScript files is to go to Burp, spider all the hosts, select all the hosts, right-click, Engagement Tools, and find scripts and export all the JavaScript out into a file and then open it up. But say we want to have a look at just one JavaScript file, just to have a little play around with it. We can also search as well. Press Control F. Actually, no, I think it's I think we can search as well, but let's just actually choose on one of these. This one here is not the one we want, but let's go to no, not add feedback. Let's go to where's one we can go to? One that actually is on the JavaScript Yahoo domain. Let's just click on one of these anyway. Let's just click on. Actually, let's click on. Let's just go to the main page again. Oh, we can do it on au.yahoo. Let's do Yahoo. And we'll do, just trying to find one in JavaScript. Let's just do any, just for a sake, so none of these in scope. But what we do is we want to click on that initiator. So initiator is what initiated JavaScript. So we can click on this one here, and it will go to automatically that function, that part of the page that we're looking at. Loading because it's quite big. And it's going to go to what initiated this partner script here. So obviously this is really minified. This is really shitty. We can't really look at this. It's all one-line JavaScript. It's minified. So we can click this fancy little button here to print it, and it will basically print it in one line. Or all these are printed in printify it, so we can look at all the code. But in Burp, this is really hard to do. This is the beautiful part of DevTools. Is Burp, you'd have to go plugin like JS Beautify, and it's really hard. So we can look for, secret access keys, API keys from the API. I hope we don't find any. We can find API keys. We can type in secret, and hopefully we don't find anything. But yeah, you can just find all different stuff, API keys by typing these. But you can also find endpoints by going API. But that's a really low-tech way to do it. So what you want to do is you want to go to network, and you want to click on this XHR button here. And the XHR stands for XML HTTP request, or also known as AJAX. And it's basically a way that JavaScript fetches and rates files. So we can click on this and go to the initiator of just any of these. Like we'll just go to this one here, which is Yahoo. And this is make an XHR request. Obviously, we need to prettify it, sorry. This will go all one line. It will prettify it, so it'll print it all in the right thing. But, as we can see this, we can't read this. This is really hard to read. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our global listeners and look for message, because we'll look for a post message, because that's where we can do some interesting JavaScript XSS. Let's go to prettify, and let's click on, say, this breakpoint here. And let's go to our console. And what we do want to do is we want to send a message to this. So we'll type in post message, and we'll do alert. So what it contains is the arguments it contains is the target host, it contains the message and the target host. Let's just do post message like this with the alert document domain. Obviously, we don't get a break. This is set a breakpoint, so we can get DevTools take full control of the debugger, but there's no breakpoint. This didn't work. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our website called Public Firing Range AppSpot, and we're going to do this is actually a free open source made by Google to test XSS. Now with this, we can do cookie XSS, DOM XSS, referrer. These are just the sources that will be in the DOM XSS. We can go to window name, we can go local storage, and all sorts of stuff. We're just interested in the post message, and we'll do the eval. Awesome. Let's click on that. Let's get out of some of this. And what we're going to do is when it loads, basically a blank page, we're going to right click and go to inspect. Or we can just press Control-Shift-I. We're in network, and we're going to go to sources this time. We've got to eval. And hopefully it loads. It's pretty printed. No, it hasn't loaded yet. Let's reload the page. Here we go. So obviously the JavaScript is in line with the JavaScript is in line with the page. So let's just click on, say, this here, and let's do a simple post message. And let's do as the payload alert document domain. Always do alert document domain. And let's send that. Obviously, here we go. This is actually set a breakpoint. So this post message was successful, but in Yahoo we didn't get a post message. But generally, what we want to do is we want to modify we can modify things. So since it's set a breakpoint, we can go things like content. We can set content. We can actually just do a message, and this will print out the message. And we can just do data. We can set like content to something. We can modify it on the go, so we can change content equal to alert, whatever you want. We're just going to continue this and watch the JavaScript get executed. Right here, we've got DOM XSS, but see, this is not impactful here because right here we've just got XSS on Google. Well done. But what's the impact? There's none, because sometimes it'll be none because it's actually made by design, so there's no impact here. So what we want to do, if we found DOM XSS on a live website, a bug bounty program, we want to come up with proof of concept. A good way to do that is to bypass the same origin policy. Now, if you say, we can steal cookies, no, because most of the times it's HTTP only on the cookie, so we can't really steal cookies much anymore. But we can do what's called bypass the same origin policy, also known as cross-origin resource sharing, where same origin policies might say, you can fetch JavaScript on just this host. If this host does not allow that, then it'll block the request. But if we can bypass same origin policy, we can do things anywhere, like say there was a banking website and had DOM XSS, and we can bypass the same origin policy on a banking website or something. And if an attacker can, the attacker basically do anything that the user can click on. So if we can do that, find DOM XSS and a bypass that origin policy, we can do anything the user can on that website. Very bad, very bad. So let's just replicate this with a program called Replit. So Replit is a nice program that will come up with a nice proof of concept. Let's just do a new Replit, and let's choose HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Let's create a new one. Awesome. This is how we're going to come up with a proof of concept and a bug bounty program. Wait till it loads. This is going to be the very first video on code review. We're not going to do much about it. We're just going to make this video. It's just loading. And I'm going to show some automatic scanners you can use too to help identify, vulnerabilities in source code. But it's best to do manual testing. 100% of the time, scanners will detect stuff that are false positive and won't detect much. Manual testing, you'll find a lot. So in the body tag, we want to create an iframe. And we want to make this ID target. And then we want to close the iframe tag. And then we want to go to our JavaScript and we want to create a variable called target. And that we want to get that document, that ID, so get element by ID, which will be target. So basically getting this iframe here. And in that iframe, we want to create an event listener. And this event listener is going to be when it loads, we're going to create a callback, which is going to set the target's post message. So the content window post message. And it'll be basically the payload that we had in here, right there, that one there. But we'll copy this box. We need that for later. And then it will be alert document.domain, and I want to execute this on any page. And then what we do is we go target.source and we set that equal to the page of the page. And we run this, and what you'll find is we'll get XSS when it loads. It's going to take a bit of time. We'll put this over here. We'll get XSS. Oh, actually, I haven't actually closed up. Now we should get XSS. Document.domain. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that. Let's get out of that. Let's run it again. XSS, perfect. So this is what we'll get when we are running an iframe. So we can also go open up the page and we get XSS. This would be perfect concept. We can send this link, this URL to the bug bounty program, and we'll get a bounty for it. Hopefully it's not duplicate. Also, that's basically ways to find domain XSS. It's really, I recommend just going through all these and looking at different ones. There's obviously more difficult ones, complex message. There's really hard ones too. So this is good practice to get used to it. Use the techniques I showed you. Now, there's also some source code reviews. I think there's one called, you can just type in source code review tools. And there's one, I'm pretty sure, that's community edition, which is called, I'll find it. Let's put that over there. So, or WASP has some good ones too. That's a good website. I think it's Cuba, or I can't remember, but I'll have a look at it. I'll show you what I can show, the ones I like. There's ones you can actually buy, but they're not worth it. SonarQube, that's the one there, SonarQube. So this is really, really good. And this is actually really, really good because this will actually help you identify vulnerabilities in source code, and it can do any language. I'm not going to build this, but you'll understand how to do it. You can use a Docker, or you can just pretty much clone this. Actually, let's just give it a shot. Let's clone this. It's actually in. Yeah, we're not going to do this, but we can use this program, and this will you just run build, and what it will do is it will download all the dependencies for Linux, and it will obviously you need Docker installed, and it will go ahead and install it for you. I'm not going to go through that though. I recommend doing manual testing to actually find vulnerabilities. There's also going to be a lot of resources that I'm going to provide. I'm going to show you a very good deep video that I showed earlier, Tom Nom Nom and Stoke, which you can watch and learn a lot more than I've showed you in this video. Also, there's Pentest Labs, which would be very useful. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and the next videos, just enjoy. This course is awesome. Hope you enjoyed it so far, and I'll see you in the next video.